Good evening to you, Madam Byanyima, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Firstly, welcome to Namibia. I hope you are enjoying your stay thus far. Just to give us just a brief picture of what you have observed so far, how is Namibia doing in fighting HIV?
Namibia is a leader on fighting HIV, and I came here to see for myself how Namibia does it, what we can learn from it, and how to support it more. I've always known Namibia to be a leader, but seeing with my eyes the examples of how it's innovatively fighting HIV as well as fighting COVID has been very inspiring, and I've learned a lot. This morning and this afternoon, I went to two places, both run by organizations of civil society with the strong support of the government of Namibia, helping young girls, young women, young men to understand their sexuality and to be safe, to prevent themselves from contracting HIV. And those who get tested and are positive to get on treatment and live long lives. Namibia was able to achieve the global targets 2 years in advance of 2020. So Namibia is a great story, but Namibia still has a journey to go, especially for adolescent girls and young women. They are more infected than other groups. So I was focusing a lot on adolescent girls and young women and what we can do to protect our girls. Do you know that in Africa, 4,500 young girls, young women, get infected every week with HIV? 4,500. Even here in Namibia, the group of children between, I call them children, but young people between 15 and 24, in that cohort, girls are 3 times more vulnerable to catching HIV than boys. So we have to focus on them and remove those particular inequalities, issues of society that make them vulnerable.
All right.
So I'm happy because Namibia is working on it and I've come to support them.
Now, as small as Namibia is, Namibia has obviously enjoyed the respect on different levels, especially in the international arena as well. Now, currently, Namibia is playing a global role in co-facilitating the international high-level meeting on HIV in June. What exactly is that role, and what are you keen on achieving then?
That was the second purpose of my visit, because Namibia is a leader, because indeed in the international space, Namibia is leading on HIV. First of all, Namibia chairs the board of UNAIDS. Through your Minister of Health, you chair the board, and your minister has chaired in an excellent way and got us to approve a very ambitious strategy for the world for the next 5 years. Now, after this, the targets for 2025 are going to be discussed and approved at a UN General Assembly meeting in June. Again, the co-leader of that process is the ambassador, permanent representative of Namibia, working with the one of Australia. So you see at 2 levels, Namibia leading on HIV/AIDS. This is remarkable, and it's going well, even though the negotiations are very difficult to get all the countries of the world to agree on what needs to be done, including tackling social norms that are in the way of certain groups of people, addressing human rights issues, putting money down to support the services. All these have to be agreed, and Namibia is leading us both at the board level and at the level of the General Assembly of the United Nations. So I came to consult with your president, who we expect to come and chair and as co-facilitator together with the Australian side to come to the meeting. I also have come to show our respect and thanks for this strong leadership they've given.
Lastly,
Your
Madam,
country has given.
lastly, Madam, Namibia and many other countries are concerned about inequality, especially at a time when we are being faced with this pandemic. I beg your pardon, of COVID-19. Just recently, our president, during the conference with the WHO leaders, compared the distribution of the COVID-19 vaccination, compared it to apartheid, modern day apartheid, because now you have powerful countries who are hoarding all these vaccines for themselves, and you have small countries like Namibia who have put money forward but are still not getting these vaccines all the time. How does UNAIDS and other organizations, how can they address this inequality?
UNAIDS saw this early and has been speaking out on this early. We reached out and built a huge coalition we called the People's Vaccine Alliance, because we saw from the beginning, even when we were all looking for gloves and masks and antiseptic whatever to protect this PPE for protecting our health workers. There was a fight. The rich countries didn't steal actually, hogged everything, bought up everything. And we Africans with all our money couldn't find anything. Now with the vaccine, we are in a situation where there's scarcity, artificial scarcity, because only a few companies know how to make this and they can't produce for the whole world. So the few doses that are made are bought out by rich countries. Today, rich countries are vaccinating their people at 1 person per second. Here in Africa, there are at least 7 countries who haven't got even a single dose. That's unjust. That is what South Africa has called vaccine apartheid, and they are right. There is no life that's less important than another. Certain services, certain goods should be public goods. The people who own the technology only need to license it out to other producers. Here in Africa, we have capacity in South Africa, we have some capacity in Senegal, in Morocco, to license out and let other producers also make for our countries, so that we get out of this crisis very fast, so that everybody is served. Because anyway, they are also not safe, because they are vaccinating themselves and we are not. The variants are being produced because the slower you are, the more this virus keeps changing itself and adapting, and through travel, it will be right back at their door. So it doesn't make moral sense. It doesn't make economic sense. It doesn't, of course, it offends human rights as well. So we are in an alliance as UNAIDS, speaking firmly to companies, speaking with governments, mobilizing citizens to push for a waiver that South Africa has asked for on intellectual property, and to push for sharing of knowledge, technology, know-how, so that other producers can quickly make for us. And I think it will happen.
All right. Madam Byanyima, thank you so much for your time. It was a great pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye-bye.
Highly appreciate it.